In 2023, the Royal Photographic Society East Anglia Documentary Group, or EADG for short, embarked on a project which focused on the Suffolk town of Newmarket. Members were invited to sign up to the series of shoots, under the supervision of the Jockey Club, who were kind enough to issue the required permits and offered unequivocal support for our endeavors, and our thanks to them for hosting. The group anticipated some early starts in order to capture the exercise periods of the stables, at the start of each day, and, perhaps for the first time, we would undertake a night stop in order to maximize the potential image library available to us. At this time, the EADG were undertaking a series of exhibitions at the Forum in Norwich titled, Not Just Bristol No. 1, 2, 3, or 4, reflecting the Bristol-centric activities of the Society, and the visits to Newmarket were aligned to ensure some of the stills we obtained of the town could form part of these events. Additionally, for each of the 4 visits we created a YouTube video clip, which at the back of our minds were destined to be 4 chapters of a compilation which covered this town over the last 6 months of 2023, which would benchmark further work as we descend on other key towns in East Anglia. This film is the version of the project we are submitting as a final cut documenting the town, as seen by the participants, who are but a bunch of amateur photographers who are based in the East Anglia region. Strictly speaking, this is probably dipping into the audio/visual genre as defined by the Royal Photographic Society, but we photographers feel that by putting forward a body of work which reflects time and place, we have also landed squarely in documentary photography. So, let me tell you a bit about our time in the town, which dates back to the 1200s. It is without question the smell of the place which hits you first. It's like being backstage at the Houston Agricultural and Livestock Show, which is enclosed in the Astrodome. This is outside, in the fresh air, and it smells of horse, all 3,500 of them, as much, if not more so, than Texas. The money tied up in horseflesh is enormous, and the business of the town, which employs 1 in 3 of the population, is equal in value to that of the Cambridge Science Park. This is big money doing big money things. That is not to say that the town also demonstrates the usual traits of secondary conurbations within East Anglia, and parts of the town are pretty run down. Newmarket Station does no favors to the original structures, and it is only with further research that we discovered that the line runs under the gallops in a tunnel. But in our time in the town we discovered that the line is east-west in orientation, running to Cambridge one way and Ipswich the other. I am sure that many punters enjoy the complimentary bus ride up to the racecourse when there is a race day, but, on the day we visited, it seemed to be doing a good job in getting delegates back to London following on from a healthcare symposium at the course. In the center of town, there is an installation which is dedicated to local mathematician Bill Tutt. We did look up what he did on Wiki, but apart from specifying that it was an 1+2 break-in, and a double delta attack, which incidentally was put to good use at Bletchley Park during World War II, we have no clue, and some of the equations written out online just goes to show that O-level maths was just not up to snuff. I suppose under occupation on his passport he put codebreaker as he emigrated to Canada in later years. We were fortunate to find accommodation at the Best Western in the center of town, which was comfortable and which became our base for the 2 days, including the overnight stop. It was here that we met up with both joining and local members. On the night we stayed, we sought sustenance at an Italian restaurant in town, which was also most agreeable.
Having dealt with Newmarket town last week, and before we move on to the racecourse, we are now going to look at the horse. With the kind invitation of the Jockey Club Estates, we, as the Royal Photographic Society East Anglia Documentary Group, have been granted access to the gallops and through their good offices, the Matchell Place stables, which date from 1884. So, who was James Olivier Matchell? Born in Yorkshire, and by way of India and the Curragh, he is now buried in Newmarket. With 11 classic successes trained by him, and himself the owner of 3 Grand National winners, probably safe to say he knew his stuff. The Matchell Place stable itself is a Grade 2 listed building. We as documentary photographers have a responsibility to record and observe without comment, which we do as an independent media function. Suffice it to say, in this particular content creation, we have absolutely no reservations about anything. It was quite comforting to see this unique activity in September, as both the Heath and the town were welcoming the start of autumn, although it was a tad windy on the day we visited. Come and see what we actually recorded as images on October 15, 2023, at the Forum in Norwich, 10 through 4. It is a free event hosted by the Royal Photographic Society, and everyone is welcome.